Hi, my name is Colin Roble,
My name is Luis Mora.
and this is our Restaurant Advisor program. So to start out, we started with our main.java file, which is what it does is loads up the login screen, as you can see right here, with the start method. And then we made a couple helper methods called replacing content, and then main is what actually runs it. But replacing content, what this does is it actually sets up the login screen, and we used a example from Oracle.com as kind of a reference for creating this. So after we run the program, the login screen will come up, and then the login controller kind of goes into the effect.
So then the login controller is kind of like the controller that controls this login screen. So here we initiate three variables for the password, the username, and the sign-in button. So then we have several methods here that help check the user or like the username and the password that they match according to the text file. So here we are checking that condition that is coming from the text file. And then we also created a method here of the reading the restaurants, because in this controller, the moment that the user is able to sign in, we need to get that information of the restaurants to read in the restaurants to make sure that the next screen is complete. So this is where we're getting all the information restaurant that is being read from a text file, then stored into an array list of restaurants, of type restaurants. And then this method, the set page message, sets out the text for each restaurant with the name, cost level, the cuisine type, and the hours, all into one quick structure. And then process. Process is just the button, the login button, that would help initiate that transition into that next restaurant page. So then our restaurant Java file contains all the relevant information for a restaurant, which is like the name, picture, address. So then we have a quick constructor that initiates what's being passed into those in the Java file.
Going up next is our search controller. So after you log in and it loads in the information from the restaurant text files, we have 4 restaurants in our program: Culver's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Taco Bell, and Ryu. So it grabs those from the text file with all the restaurant information, and the search controller is what loads up our search screen. So up at the top here, we have the restaurant name variables, their descriptions, their hours, and their cost levels. Again, we have another method for reading in stuff from text files. This one is items. So this will be used to set up the restaurant page screen, which includes menu items. So we need to read in the different items on the menu for the different restaurants, depending on which restaurant name they click. This again reads in restaurant information because we also need that information for the specific restaurant page. And then these 4 methods are for the 4 different restaurant names, and it passes a number based on which restaurant the user is going to. And again, the set page method sets up the next scene for the restaurant page controller. And this is just the select restaurant method. And so this is, so then going on to the restaurant page controller, here we have different attributes as we said before. So it has the information for the restaurant, and then it has these are for the items, the different item names. For each restaurant, we only have 2 items on the menu. In here, we also set up the next page, which would be for the review controller, and the review attributes can be shown here.
Yeah, so the review attributes, once again, is similar to the restaurant file, where it just has the name of the customer, the user, the rating, and the review, with a simple constructor and some getters and setters. So now getting into the review controller. The review controller has, once again, the name of or the information of the restaurant, and also the reviews, the names of the customer, and the rating that it has. This block is meant for once the user is actually making a new review. We gotta set a different text area for that. That would be a pop-up that will be shown later. So then once again, this set page is used once again to refresh the page once a new review is added into it. It's very similar to the restaurant page controller in the sense that it will just refresh that review controller once again. The reviews are read in from a text file and stored into an array list. And the information of the restaurant is also read in and stored in an array list. We also have a number of lines to calculate how many lines are in the review text file to make sure how many reviews are in that file and to get the average rating for that restaurant. And once again, this is once they are done doing the review, it refreshes the page with this action event. Yes, and then this action event writes a review and finishes the review. So the moment you want to write a review, the button initiates and sets visible these pop-up text boxes. They write in the text boxes, and once they are finished, you click the done button that will finalize this report or add it to the reviews. So now we will be showing a little demonstration of this implementation.
Alright, so when we press run here, it loads up our Restaurant Advisor login screen. So here you can see Restaurant Advisor, log in with your Restaurant Advisor account. So for username, we will put Brilo, and then our password is going to be data, for short for data structures. I know, right? Then when we sign in, here is our search screen. So we have 4 restaurants: Culver's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Taco Bell, and Rui. So what we're going to demonstrate today is Buffalo Wild Wings. So before I click on this, you can see that there's some information here about like the type of food that's there, what it is, a sports bar, hours, and then like kind of cost level. So now we're here on the Buffalo Wild Wings restaurant page. As you can see, we have 2 menu items here, and there's room for if we had time to code more in. And then this just shows some basic contact information, hours again, and just type of food, and then also location. And then here's a checkout button, which we did not get to program yet, but if we had more time, that is one thing we would focus on. You can select items, but it doesn't really do anything at this point. From here, you can see that we have this link here called All Ratings, and this will bring us to the rating page. So now we're here on the rating page, and this information all stayed the same up here because we still wanted to show like the information about the restaurant, but the menu has now been replaced by the reviews on the restaurant. Currently we only have 2 reviews, as you can see here. One left by Susan, who didn't like the customer service but liked the food, and then one by Frank, who wished the wings were a little less spicy. And as you can see, we have our average rating here, and then our 2 ratings right there. So when we go here and click on write a review, you'll see the 2 text boxes pop up here, and then our done button right there. So let's see, let's write a review saying, I love this place. And then let's say 4.0 out of 5 stars. And then when we press the done button, you see it popped up right here, and so now we have another review pop up. And because we're logged in as Brilo popped up. And so yeah, that is our demo for our Restaurant Advisor software. Hope you enjoy.